Hi everyone, this is Cape at Cape's Corner, and I'm back with part 2 of this page that we had done in the last video, and we're going to turn it over and finish the other side. Now this won't probably take as long because we've already got our page established and our pocket made, so we'll be making another journaling card or something to put in there. I'm thinking more of paper and just doing a stenciling on the paper for more writing paper. Let me get my things out of the way here. So I don't want to just have, the same kind of thing on every page. I try to make something different on every page. So it gets to be, where you really have to stretch your brain. And my creativity some days is not what I hoped it to be, but other times it just rolls, and the journal helps me do that with looking at it and deciding what's next. So anyway, I love this pink paper. This was the spice dyed paper that I had made last week or so with you in a video, and it really is beautiful paper. So I'm enjoying it in this particular journal because of all the pink. So wherever this journal winds up, you must like pink because it is got a lot of pink. But the last journal I did was completely brown. You could see that on my Etsy shop. I did it with the paper bags. It is gorgeous, but it's pretty much brown, so you must like brown. But this one is pink. Alright, so we're going to put something here, and I think what I'd like to do is just simply take a piece of this same paper and put it in here for extra writing space that goes along with this, and then I'll have to figure out what's coming up on that page later on. So let's start with the paper. Alright, here we go. This paper came out so beautiful, I'll tell you. I will do that again. I just like the way the colors are, because the avocado dyed papers are pretty pink. The cinnamon and spices that I used for these come out pink and brown. So it's just beautiful, and it's spotted it comes out like marbly. I don't know why it did that, but it did on most of the papers. It's just beautiful. It's hard to see in this light, but it's really there. You can see the colors. Definitely pink when you put it next to the white paper. But anyway, so what I like to do, what I've been doing in this journal, is to have ragged edges and ink them, but leaving it pretty big so that there's plenty of writing space. So I think I'm going to use half this paper. We'll use half a sheet and tear it, because we're going to tear it anyway. And then just put a rough edge on it. You could use one of those scissors that have a ragged edge, or a ruler that has a ragged edge, but I'm just going to tear it. I like the one side to really grab the ink. It just does a better job if I tear it. So we'll just tear it. So anyway, I hope you're all well, and enjoying your day, whatever that may be. I've been trying to simplify my world, and so by using my stash of craft supplies in my cupboards, then it really also let me see what else was in there, and what I needed, what I didn't need, what I could get rid of, what I could keep, what I could, organize. I have a yarn addiction. Besides this, I crochet like a mad person. So I have slowed down a little bit since I've been doing this, but I do still crochet pretty near every day. So this week I've been making hats. Because I can make a hat in probably an hour's time. So I make a hat, a winter hat, and, you know, put a thing on the top there, a pom-pom thingy, and braids on the side. They're really cute. Sometime I'll show you that. My husband keeps saying, well, you should do another channel and do a yarn channel, but oh my goodness, I'd be nothing but at the desk if I start another channel. I don't know how people get all that done by having multiple channels. I don't know if I could do that. But I didn't think I could do this either, so there you go. He is a saint, though. He really helps me as far as computer. I don't know about you, but my computer skills are not, you know, or nor do I want them to be part of my project here. I can figure out most of it, but he really helps me. And I'm so grateful for that, because without his knowledge, I wouldn't be able to do this. So I am grateful for his work involvement. So this is our channel, I tell him, because without him, I wouldn't be here, because I couldn't manage all that. So I am very, very grateful for him. He wouldn't do it, but he does that work. He's the behind-the-scenes man, you know, which is good. All right, here, let's see. That looks nice. Now we'll do the other side. I always do both sides because, well, it just is what it is, you know. It just goes with the flow and it looks beautiful. Now, a lot of time when you, I'll get back to these papers here, a lot of time when you hand dye some papers, one side might be darker than the other, depending on how much or little, you know, solution you have on the paper. And I've been noticing that, and so I'm trying to be more conscious of that. So when I'm doing it, that I take the time to work both sides of the paper and not put so many together. The drying process can be tricky. You can do it in the oven, you can just lay them out and let them dry. And so the problem is the side that I noticed that is laying down to let them dry is the side that most of the color is not as bright as the side that's facing upwards naturally. So I thought I was going to try and do some of them. Maybe I'll do a video with that, see how it comes out. I'm dyeing them twice, you know, doing it once and then letting them dry, and then doing the opposite side and letting them dry, and see if it affects the other side. I know it sounds very confusing, but I'm going to try that anyway, and if it works out as well as I hope, then I will share that with you. Alright, there we go. So all set there. We're going to tuck that in here. And I want to put a little bit of a stencil on this one so that when it's in the pocket, you can see just a little bit of it. So I want to do a stencil around the edge. Let's see what we have here. Let's see. Oh, I know. You know, you must have your favorite things, you know. You always go back to it. I don't have a lot of these because over the years it wasn't my, you know, I didn't have a need for them actually. So I don't have a lot of stamps. I'd like to get some more eventually, but for now, you know, I have a few. So you don't need a lot of supplies to do anything to make it look nice, because it'll look nice with what you have. And this is my go-to favorite stamp. And I'll show you what it looks like there, those flowers. So I try and use the whole thing, half of it, this end, that end. You know, I work it so that it's not always just the whole stamp. And this time we're going to work a flowery garden like around, because of this side paper here. It kind of gives me that feeling to do that. So we're going to start in the corner, and I go on it, you know, right up in towards the middle of the paper like so, and just stamp that. And then I'm going to come around on an angle a little bit until it's straight, and then add different heights. So we're going to go up and down and make just different, you know, one up, one down kind of thing. And then start turning it towards the center of the end. Bring that one in, and then you could leave it just that way. That looks pretty, just on one side. But I think we'll go all the way around. And just on one side. We'll leave the back side as is, but we'll do this on one side. There we go. And just keep going. And how pretty is that? And then I think we'll have that side all set. There we go. I know, trying to come up with something different on every page is a challenge, especially when you have like 90 pages. So you have to come up with 90 ideas in every journal. It can be a challenge, but it's the fun part, because by the end, and you go through it, and I flip through this book every time I start a new page. I start from the beginning and I go through it. It's just contagious sort of conditioning that I need to continue, because it talks to me. So I know that sounds like I'm a crazy person, but you know, if you're an artist or a crafter in any way, you understand that. So anyway, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because I don't want to spoil that fun, because we are going to do a walkthrough when this is finished. But I still have several papers of this signature and a whole nother signature to fill. So that is what that is. So this page has beautiful spice dyed paper. Is a continuation of the back of this page, and it has these beautiful brown splotches of I used some coffee to splash onto the paper when it was dry from being spice dyed. And now this piece of paper is just, you saw me, just plain spice dyed paper. We edged it just by tearing, inked it, and stamped it. And there you have it. How beautiful is that? I leave the back side plain and just fold this up and tuck it in. Now I think for one last thing I want to put on here is probably a little butterfly. So I did invest in a stamp, if I can find it. Not a stamp, but a paper punch, butterfly paper punch. And let's see what we can use for that. Just something plain, actually. Let's see what we have. Where's my paper? See, then when you need a little piece of paper, you haven't got one, and you think you have everything in this pile of stuff, and then you don't. Oh, here's one. Well, I don't like that. And then you're like that. No. And then you go for another piece of paper, and it makes your pile even bigger. Again. Let's see. Alright, I know what I'm going to use. I'm just going to use something like that. Just a piece of paper and some ink. So let's just do that. I'm just going to have a piece of paper here. It could be anything, really. There we go. Just, excuse that pile. That was, that's a yarn disaster, so, that I'm working on. Anyway, so here we have this little butterfly. I'm just going to take an ink to it. My pink brush. See if there's enough ink on there. Oh yeah. Make that nice and pink because we have a lot of pink in this journal. I'm going to put it right there on the little bit end of this paper. We're just going to glue that on there. Let's see. I always try and clean off that tip. Just put a little ink there. And then kind of smush it around in the glue. Did I just say ink? Oh my goodness. Anyway, smush it around in the glue so that all sides get a little wet. And there you have it. Little butterfly. How cute is that? And the little flower garden on your paper. And we're just going to tuck that right in there. And one more thing, because, you know, I can't stop. I don't know if you're like that when you're crafting, but now I need another word. So, one more word. Let's go for that. Let's see. You know, great way to get your words. I had shown you that in the one of the prior videos was a word search book, because I had one in the cabinet of my craft closet and arts and crafts and coloring things, and it was this word search that I had apparently forgot about, and the pages were getting old on their own. So that, and it's great paper. It takes the color. It's just really, really nice. And so here's a word. I'm going to snip right off here. I love this. So many words in here, might as well use them. And there's numbers. So you could use numbers and words out of these books. And there you go. So here's a word, and it says sweet. We're just going to trim it up. Put a little ink on it, and put it at the top of this page. And call it a day. There we go. So a sweet, short page, video. And how cute is that? Sometimes things are just the simplest and look the best, so sometimes less is more. Okay, I'm just going to put sweet right here. And no big fancy page, just simple and sweet, just like that. Because I don't know what's going to happen over here. This is like the end of this, these two pages that we had done before. And there we have it. So short and sweet. Alright then. I hope you enjoyed this continuation of this video from the last, and gives you inspiration for your journals and your ideas. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, share, and you know, if you choose, no one has to do anything. It's just a courtesy that I am thankful for every person who is visiting. Remember though, if you do subscribe, to ring the bell so that you can see upcoming videos, and when they're coming. I try to shoot for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and when I can get a little faster and more momentum, let's say, then I will probably try to do one on the weekend, either Saturday or Sundays. So thank you so much for joining me here today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.